Okay, you're going to need your Foundation Unit 4 workbook, and you are going to open to convert a decimal to a fraction. And we're going to look at converting decimals to fractions. So my first one, I have 0.8, and because I have got one number after the decimal point, I know I'm in the tenths column. So I've got 8 tenths, which simplifies to 4/5. My next one, 1.08. Well, that's my tenths column, my hundredths column. So I have 108 over 100, which when I simplify gives me 1 whole and 8 hundredths, which is 1 and 2/25. Let's try the next one together. So 0.85. I look, what decimal place do I go to? Tenths, hundredths. So I am going to write 85 over, what am I going to write it over? Well, tenths, hundredths, 85 over 100. I know they've got 5 as a common factor because this ends in 5 and this ends in 100. So that is 17 over 20. Right, you're going to try the third one, pause the video and have a go. Did we get 2 and 1 over 125? So we're now going to answer these 3 questions. How do we decide on the denominator? What do we do if the decimal is greater than 1? So where we had 1.08 and 2.008. And what are the quick checks we can do to see if things simplify? You might want to check back to your simplifying fractions notes for this one. Pause the video, think about your answers, and I will share mine in a moment. So we decided on the denominator by using place value columns. So after ones, we have tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So the column we go into gives us our denominator. If the decimal is greater than 1, still use place value. You're just going to end up with an improper fraction, which you then simplify. Checking if we're simplifying. Well, if it ends in 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, we can divide by 2. If it ends in 0 or 5, we can divide by 5. And if it ends in 0, we can divide by 10. Notice I didn't bother with the dividing by 3 check because your denominator is always going to be in the 10 times table because we are using place value. Okay, have a go at the questions. Pause the video and have a go at the questions. So checking your answers, making any corrections necessary, and again, have a think about what's the connection between some of these. So where we've got 0.65 and 0.065, looking at our fractions, what's happening to that denominator? Once you start looking at these relationships, it becomes much easier to do the conversions. As always, if you feel like you need more practice, follow the QR code to the Maths Watch clip.